Hey, g'day guys, it's Calvin from the Cartoon Company down under in New Zealand. Do you ever feel like life's beating you up? That everything you touch is making you work a lot harder than you really feel you should? Yep, doing conversions, I do have days like that. So the trick to getting through it is having a really positive attitude, keeping a clear head, and sometimes knowing when it's time to go home or to go four-wheel driving. I'm working on what is probably the worst wired vehicle for the year. This particular vehicle had already been converted, and then the owner after that has attempted to change an engine. Because it was so poorly converted, it made it a nightmare for the person trying to fit the engine. So I'm working through lots and lots of issues. And I'm working my way through, tidying up stuff, finding issues, chopping stuff out. Now this one's so bad, three of the wiring looms, yes, it had three options, all went in the rubbish bin, and I'm starting from scratch. The intake manifold came off so we could sort out the wiring underneath the manifold, and I'm making up a wiring loom. The owner's made a really good decision to go individual coils because it's getting an aftermarket ECU. He already had that, so that was positive. And there was lots of really weird stuff in this. Now you might have noticed recently I asked about the throttle bodies going different ways between the left-hand and right-hand drive cars. We normally only get the right-hand drive versions over here. Most of our engines, replacement engines, come from Japan. But there's something strange about this. The vehicle didn't have the throttle cable connected. I didn't think anything of it. Not really a big deal. Let's have a look at what I found. So I grabbed the throttle body, Gen 2 throttle body, and I whipped a hole in it for the idle speed outlet. I whipped a hole in it for the air temp sensor. It was non-traction control, so I thought, hey, that's good. And I popped it on to have a bit of a look there, and then I went, hey, wait a minute, this is weird. It's weird because it's a left-hand drive one. That'll be why the throttle cable wasn't connected. I grabbed the normal one. Now look at that, left-hand drive, right-hand drive. Now I think it's really great because I had several offers of guys showing me left-hand drive throttle bodies because I don't see them very often at all. But look at this. One happens to turn up in my shop. And this sort of weird stuff happens to me all the time. I'm kind of fortunate that I can come across this stuff and show people some of these different variances. Both of these are Gen 2s. Left-hand drive and right-hand drive. So the left-hand drive one, the cable flows across the intake manifold, down, and moves it like that. The throttle shaft still turns the same way, but this lever action out here is slightly different. And just to really confuse everyone, that bracket is the same on both of them. And then this bracket here has the kick down. Ooh, not the kick down. Don't ever call that a kick down. The line pressure cable. The right-hand drive, this fitting here is for the throttle bracket. This one is for cruise control. Fortunately, the owner of this vehicle put a heap of old parts from the blown up engine into the back of the Surf, which you guys over some parts of the world would know as Forerunners. So he gave us an extra throttle body. Primo. So he gave us this one. Fantastic news. Non-traction control. Awesome. Right-hand drive. Awesome. But this vehicle wants to fight. It's a Gen 1. So the breather is a different size. And also to note, I don't think they sorted the idle out properly because I'd cranked up that screw on the old engine when this one is the throttle stop, and you could drive a truck through that gap. So the engine that blew up, the throttle body wasn't set up right, and actually the tuning was really weird. When I looked at the map in the computer, the profile really set up strangely. So I understand why it blew up. Of course, throttle body, different breather. Let's have a look at what we're doing over on the engine. Because the breather's different, this tappet cover is going to get swapped. I have a spare, but look. Can you give it a bit of a grab on the back there, Jasmine? Show us. Look, it won't come out because the booster's in the way. We're okay with that. We're also fitting individual coils. There's no way they're going in with the booster there either. Nope. So the booster's coming out. It's really fighting us. But hey, the tappet cover gaskets are leaking, so it's a good thing. We're going to prep it a bit better than it was and sort a bit of this crap out. So all in all, it's going to come up much better. And hey, I'm still smiling. I'm still pretty happy. It's going to come up really nicely. One of the questions I now have is, where did this engine come from and what's it doing here? Really strange for us to have left hands. We have had some imported from America before, though I haven't seen very many. I'm going to become Detective Cartoon with this one, and it's kind of fun too. It gives a new dynamic to just fixing cars. One of the questions I now have is, where did this engine come from and what's it doing here? Really strange for us to have left hands. We have had some imported from America before, though I haven't seen very many. I'm going to become Detective Cartoon with this one, and it's kind of fun too. It gives a new dynamic to just fixing cars. On these ones, on the early ECU they were running, they have a kick-down switch, and someone's actually taken the time to fit a kick-down switch to the accelerator pedal. So like at 3/4 throttle, it closes the contact on that switch, and so long as it sees 3/4 throttle, as long as it sees 3/4 on the throttle position and the kick down, it kicks the trans down. And that's why a lot of transmissions, these UZ transmissions, on the early ones don't kick down nicely. some just behind there somewhere. Is there a black and a brown? It loops behind the handbrake cable. Is it cut off?